Subscribe to get WoW videos and press the notification button so that you can never miss any video. Assalamu alaikum beautiful friends. How are you? Comment down and show me that how are you. And don't forget to like the videos. So today you can see on the screen that I have open an MS project file and I have some linked task. So today what we are gonna do? Any idea? Oh, don't worry. So today we are going to define the resources for our MS project sheet. So let's start. So what will be you do? You should first have to define the task. As I have defined here, all the tasks have been defined. So I have to define the resources for my sheet. So what will I do? First I will go to the view and then I will go to the resource sheet. Look, the sheet is open, and in this sheet first let me show you and let me describe the labels of these different columns. So what are these different columns? So first one is resource name. You can write the resource name in this column. In second name you can define the types, right? There are three types. One is work, in which you can define the nature of the work, right? And who will going to perform that work. The second thing is material. What material are you using? Which type of material are you using? You can define there. And the third one is cost. Is there any different cost? And the cost like meetings and some other things you can write. You can define this in type column. The third is material level. As you can see, it's written here. It's material. So material means it will only define for material over here, right? So what does it show? It shows that which type of material are in which units you are using. So next is the initial is the just initial word of your resource name, and then there is the group. You can make the group of your resource names, then maximum units. So these are the units you are going to define, that how many people or how many units you are going to use in your project, right? Maximum units. So these are just you are defining that these much resources are available for my this type of resource, right? So next is standard rate. What is the standard rate for your this type of resource? Then our time rate, right? And then cost per use. So what is cost per use? Cost per use is basically for those type of materials, for those type of resources which we just hire from others, right? Or you can say that the machinery in civil engineering, the machinery which you just hire, or you just hire from some other firms, like you can hire concrete mixer, you can hire excavator, and some in other fields you can also hire. So cost per use is basically if you hire those things, if you hire those machinery, so you need to run this thing. So for that running, for its operation, you need some money in terms of, you can say, in while you are operating concrete mixture, you need petrol to run this. So for petrol you need resources. So that petrol which you use every time, it comes under the cost per use. So let me show you another example. Like if you buy a mobile phone, right? If you buy a mobile phone, you just pay it first at the time of your shopping. You just pay it at that time. So after that you are just recharging it and using it. So that recharging and using comes under your cost per use. So every time you use it, you use some balance, so that is your cost. So cost per use comes under that category. So the other thing is accrue. So this accrue, in this thing basically we have three parameters, and all these parameters are defined for payment purposes. So how you pay your client. So first one is start. If you click start, this will show you that you will pay the resource at the start, right? Before starting the project you will just pay his dues. And at the prorated means you will define it into the installments, you can say. Like if your work is for 5 days or 6 days, you just pay his you just pay him or her at the end of the day. So this is, you can say, just the installments of your whole cost. So the end, last thing is end. Now in the end, it just shows you that you will pay the salary, you can say you will pay the salary at the end of the project, right? So the next thing is base calendar. These are the calendars you have defined for the different resources. You can define some different calendars for different resources as well, and these are the codes. So basically these are some different windows you should know about. So the first one, let me start about regarding my project, defining here masons, right? Let me just keep it mason. So mason comes under the material type work, so it just automatically pick initial as m. So look, material level is what is off. It doesn't write and doesn't edit this material level because it just only works for material type. So you can just change the group over there, but no need for this. And the maximum units, how many masons do you have for their specific work? 100% means one mason. If you change it to 200%, it means two masons are available. Then you can write its special rates for here. You can write that 1000. So if you have noticed it written per hour, you can write per day. It will change 1000 per day. And overtime rate. So what is the overtime rate for per? You can define this in the terms of per hour. So the hour time rate is 100 rupees 100 per hour. So you can say that no cost per use will be coming on this thing, right? And accurate prorated, right? We will pay it at the different intervals, as you can say that at the end of the day, not at the end of its task. So the next thing is I am defining, you can say, labors. So what we have, labors are coming under the category of work. So initial is L, and let's say I have 3 labors working under one mason, right? And the each labor charges me rupees 800 per day, and its hour rate time is 60 rupees per hour. So that's all you have done. So now I defined some work. Now let me define some materials, like I will need concrete, right? So what will be the concrete? Concrete is basically the material. So now you can see material level has been on. You can write anything in this. So let me just write the unit of concrete. So concrete is basically, we measure this in cubic meters or cubic feet. Let's keep it cubic foot, cubic feet, right? So our concrete is defined in cubic feet materials. So it shows you the maximum units. This will be the off, because no maximum, you cannot define the maximum unit for concrete. Now you can define the standard rate over here for concrete. So you can say that for each cubic feet we will charge you, you can say 500. For each cubic feet we will charge you rupees 500, and all the other things will be the off. So prorated will be off, this thing will be on, this thing, everything will be there. Prorated will be on, and you will tell them we will pay you at the end of the work, let's say, right? So let me just define some other things like meeting. So we have come across with meeting, and in meeting we will have to pay our supervisor at the time cost. So we will define this at the cost. Now you can see everything is off, you cannot change anything in this thing. So for cost you will have to define the standard rate at the time of assignment the meeting. So you can save your project over here. That's all, you defined your resource sheet. Congratulations. Now in the next video I will show you that how will you assign these resources to the different tasks. So keep tuned and wait for my next video. Soon I am going to upload it. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe the channel.